We've got less than 3 months until WWE Raw goes to the streaming giant of the world, Netflix, where Raw will stream all over the world for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Well, we get 5 hours of Raw. If you go past 4 hours, consult your medical professional. But WWE was able to get a stopgap, so they didn't have their flagship show off of a cable network. So USA said, okay, we lost the CW, we have SmackDown. We will give you a short extension until you go to Netflix for a shit pot full of money. So fine, but you're only going to get a 2-hour tour, a 2-hour tour, a 2-hour tour. But enough about that scene, and blue is the warmest color. You know what one I'm talking about. Let's get to it. I'm John Renton with my review of WWE Raw from the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri, the home of Sam Muchnick, where he probably would have rolled over in his goddamn grave seeing this show. Look, there were elements that were fine. They're doing a double taping because they're going on a European tour. And I just want to say right now, this will probably be the last WWE review that you get until at least NXT Halloween Havoc. Why? I'm burned out. I don't really care about SmackDown. And tomorrow's NXT doesn't interest me, and for a reason I will talk about in just a little bit. Also, I have a lot of movies that I'm reviewing. And this weekend, I'm going to see AEW Wrestle Dream in the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma. A fucking goddamn dive of a city. That being said, 18,000 seat capacity. They had around 8,800 people according to WrestleTix, so a pretty sizable crowd for what they had set up. And the last time they were there, though, they had 10K, and that was on February 5th, 2024. Joe Tessitore, or Tessitore, however you say it, he is doing great. You're doing amazing, sweetie. So, yeah, the wrestlers come in earlier today, and for the first time in forever, and look, I mean, I could do the Frozen thing if I want to, but God, guys, I'm tired. I already have enough Disney stuff that I'm going to have to cover, like Moana 2, Electric, why the hell are we doing this? Oh, yeah, it made over $1 billion, Boogaloo. Here's Sexy Red. Okay, look, I don't know how she feels politically. It's really none of my goddamn business, but yeah, using that as a marketing ploy when, yeah, that's definitely a choice. Look, I'm going to be as nice as I can, but if this is what sexy is, then the world is doomed and the human race just needs to just line up like in Us and go off a cliff like lemmings. So that means, I'm sorry, but what? Why? What has happened to the music that I used to love? Anyway, Hell in a Cell recaps. Punk shows up to a pop. He did it for the fans. He did this all for the fans. He addresses the fans and talks about the people that like him. He talks about the fans. He talks about the wrestlers, whether they like him or not. And he's in a ton of pain, so he doesn't know what the future will hold. And he talks about the people who don't like him at all. And that he's turned their hate into cash. While the people on the other side that drove him out of the company, like Mr. Crimea River and the Bucks and various other people, essentially are burning through cash that they don't fucking deserve and have never earned a dime of. He means more on WWE programming than he meant to AEW after the Hangman Page feud. Let's be perfectly honest. After that, it was injuries. It was brawl out, all out. It was time to go. And now, I'd say both companies are better off, but look, AEW has their new television deal. It's going to kick in at the beginning of the year, and Punk means more, just cutting a promo, and beat the shit out of himself and Drew McIntyre in Hell in a Cell. So, I don't know when he's going to come back. It'll probably be by the Rumble. Rollins shows up and says, come back soon so I can retire you for good. I think that's your Mania match right there. There's no need to do it before that. Like, you can nurse this along. Because, one, Seth Rollins has to go after Here Comes Bronson. And that was fine. It was fine for what it was, but I do hate to say it. They probably should have made this a little bit quicker because they had to rush a couple of the matches. So, here comes Mr. Yeeter. It's Yeet Lewis. It's Jey Uso, the Yeetso. And he took on Xavier for the Intercontinental title. Xavier is more heelish, dominated, and lost to a splash. That's really all I have to say. Then Steiner hit a spear on him, hit a spear on Kofi, then hit the outside drone spear on Xavier, and then hit another on Jey. If this means Steiner is going to take back the title, and it's going to mean something, then I'm for it. Rhea basically says that Liv is going to get another beating. When is it going to be my turn, is all I wonder. No, just to get beaten by an Amazonian woman like that. Nevertheless, let's talk about the fact that now it's Rhea versus Raquel. Rhea's good, but is she a magician? Because I think it's pretty much like common knowledge now that this ship with Raquel has sailed. So they do talk about the Hurricane Helene, Red Cross stuff. I believe it's 707070 that you can text to donate. If I remember right, because I know AEW plugged it. And Hurricane Milton is coming. And if it stays a Category 5, it just depends. Everything's fluctuating, but that's in the Gulf of Mexico. It may be a Category 3 by the time it makes landfall. It's still going to be a vicious storm. If you were in the possible areas to be impacted, you get the fuck out of there now. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. I don't care what you believe. I don't care. Get out of there. Save your family. Save your pets, because pets are family. Get out of there. So we're almost an hour into the goddamn show. Jackie then says Steiner, took him to Spear City. That I don't know if that's necessarily going to work. I don't know, but whatever. So Steiner basically makes it where he's coming after Jay. Commentary kind of kills some time. We get a package on Sheamus and Peter Dune. And then there was some interference when Cody was backstage. And then we have Miz and Cross there. Cross is trying to say, Miz, you did what I wanted you to do. He's like, no, I did it for me. And then Truth shows up. And Truth I'm not in the Judgment Day anymore in this. And, okay, it's kind of, Miz and Truth having a feud doesn't really interest me. But, the Wyatts are there. Great. Good. That's exactly what I fucking want. That's going to get me interested. I know there are people that like it. Fine. I don't have anything against people involved. It's ridiculous. Are we supposed to believe they hijacked the production truck? I mean, they already killed the crew from before. Where were the police? So maybe they installed their own people in there that can interfere with things. Whatever. Sheamus and Peter Dune had a Donnie Wahlberg match, as I'm calling it. There were barrels, there were kicks, there were sticks, there was Sheamus sticking his stick in Peter Dune's mouth from behind. When a 6'4" Irishman does that to you, you are going to feel it. I will take no further questions. And eventually we get an air raid crash, white noise through the tables off the barrels, the DK Donkey song. I know what the hell it is, but forgive me. So a holy shit chant that got bleeped, and then a cricket bat shot for 2, and then Peter Dune zip-tied Sheamus' hands, but still lost to the brogue kick. Good job. Really, really good job there. I would say Pete is done, but I don't want to repeat these puns. Kathy is with Cody. He's here to observe Sammy versus Gunther. He's here to, just see if Sammy can do it. Sammy can't. Case closed. So, Braun, by the way, apparently really got injured during the last Monster Standing match. Partially strained or tore his groin. Ouch. Then Jackie is trying to talk to Liv, Dominic, and Raquel. Liv is in the back seat. Raquel is driving. That's a danger. If Raquel had been driving Princess Diana, she might not even made it to the tunnel. I don't know why I'm saying this, but let's roll on. So they just left. That was earlier today. Okay. I mean, I know it's a rushed Raw, but never mind. Signs in the crowd. A couple got married and they decided to go to Raw. I know you live in St. Louis, but there's got to be better shit to do than that. Maybe don't go east, but I don't know. Go to the Dakotas? Go visit Vern Gagne's old house. Do something. Anyway, or you could just observe Pierce and Ava, that's her name right now. While Ethan Page comes in, because we have to cross-pollinate the NXT thing. I do have a question. Why did they move NXT from the Enterprise Center, even if they only sold like 4,000 to 5,000 tickets? Because they moved it to a venue, I guess, it is topping out around 1,800. I'm all for small, intimate venues, but, I mean, how many tickets did they sell before they moved? Does anybody have that information from a reliable source? What wasn't reliable was the next match, despite the fact that there were talents involved. Isla, Alba, and the stud line, against Lyra, Natty, Zelina, Caden, and Katana. Set your stopwatch because they accelerate at 100 miles an hour. 10-woman tag given less than 10 minutes. We are right back at WrestleMania 26. Without a bullfrog splash by Vicky, which I feel bad about, but Vicky Guerrero's a piece of shit. Lyra eventually hit a leg drop off the top 1, 2, 3. That had to be brutal. And at least Zoe didn't get pinned because Zoe remembers actually helping Luthez break into St. Louis. She actually saw Sam Muchnick's first ever show and saw so many sellouts that Wild Bill Lawson happened to take part in. Will I stop these jokes? No, because I don't care. So, Bianca and Jade, Jade will face off against Damage Control next week. Yeah, they're taping next week's Raw as of now. I don't care. I'm sorry, I don't care. Or maybe now that I think about it, this Raw might have actually been live. They might have already done it. And might have, and they might just, I don't know. I'm trying to think, maybe they actually started an hour early. And then we're taping Raw as this one was being broadcast. Whatever, regardless, I just don't care enough to watch a taped Raw. Maybe I'll watch the women's tag just to see how much Jade has improved. Because it's taking a while. But then Gunther and Sammy had a world title match, and it was what it was. Their Intercontinental title match was better. People say the ad breaks hurt it. USA Network is going to get their sweet ad revenue in. Or their chance of sweet ad revenue. Sammy did hit a nice kick in the corner. Gunther was almost staring up at the spotlight until he hit a lariat. We got a powerbomb. We did get Sammy almost looking like he get an inside cradle. Oh no, and then he got locked on. The sleeper got locked on and he passed out. And then Gunther and Cody faced off. So yeah, that's your last Raw review till November. I apologize, guys, but I'm kind of burned out. Movies, horror movies and stuff. Like a new M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong movie coming out called Caddo Lake. I kind of want to put M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's film, library in the goddamn lake, because that's where it belongs. Nevertheless, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritland. I'll see you soon.